I'll go back to Villa Park. We should get a few clues as to the immediate future with the Premier League kick-off less than a week away. But of Chelsea's new signings, only the most expensive, Eden Hazard, plays. 4-2-3-1 looks the established Chelsea formation now. 3-4-1-2 is the new shape of Manchester City. They have gone with three at the back for much of the pre-season. Vincent Kompany will play between Stefan Savić and Pablo Zabaleta. Carlos Tevez had 6 months off last season. His time with Manchester City seemed to be over. He returned in the spring to team up with Sergio Agüero. There they pair in possession. And out of the shadow of Didier Drogba steps Fernando Torres. Euro Golden Boot winner, remember, but a bit part player with Chelsea and Spain last term. Well, the competition to play next season's Community Shield actually began yesterday. Would you believe the FA Cup is already underway? The League Cup, the Capital One Cup as it's known now, started yesterday too. The Premier League's opening fixtures are next weekend. Both of these play next Sunday. But the first silverware of the new season will be handed out here today. Will Chelsea or Manchester City, kicking off in the change strip, add to their collection? And how? Andy Townsend is alongside me. How do you think these two rather different tactical formations will match up here today?
Yeah, nothing different about Chelsea, Clive. I know they've deployed this sort of formation for some time now, but for City, yeah, it's interesting, intriguing that as champions they should decide to go three at the back. Whether Mancini persists with it throughout the season, we'll see, but it's an interesting lineup today.
First look, Eden Hazard. Mikel to Lampard. There's Ramires. There's going to be a lot of competition for the three in that 4-2-3-1 for Chelsea. Mata here will want to play in the middle. Hazard will want to play in the middle. Marin will want to play in that position. Oscar will want to play in that position. Up to Mikel and Lampard to mind the shot while those attacking talents try to combine.
Certainly for City, Clive, playing three at the back. Zabaleta on the ball at the moment. He and Savić either side of Kompany. They have to get that right. It can be awkward sometimes. You don't always have somebody to mark. Centre halves often like to go tight to players and pick people up. They will have space to mark. They have to anticipate things well. But further forward, Nasri, Agüero and Tevez will love it.
Nasri is trying to feed off Tevez. David Luiz trying to break it up. Nasri still has it. Ramires winning it back for Chelsea, and Lampard finding Mata, looking to get Torres on his way. Met by Vincent Kompany, who was a little bit of a doubt for this game because of a recurring calf problem, but the Manchester City skipper is as key to them as any of their championship-winning players. Kolarov. Early ball in towards Agüero. Tevez trying to feed off him. Challenged by Lampard.
Yeah, both Kolarov and Milner have good delivery, don't they? The left-sider in particular. Kolarov, when he gets an opportunity to flash something across on a very fast surface due to the rain we had, a real blast half an hour before kickoff.
Foul by David Luiz.
Strong there, Agüero backing into Luiz, trying to pin the centre half, receive the ball, control it, protect it.
Gary Cahill is fit and on the bench, so maybe an early pointer as to the likely central defensive partnership in front of Petr Čech. It's Luiz and Terry today. Milner or Tevez. Nasri on the end of a two-man wall. It's Carlos Tevez. Petr Čech was slightly unsighted. Danger hasn't passed. Lampard, or Ivanović I should say, scoops it away. Tevez beating Mata. And that's easy enough for Petr Čech this time.
Good play from Carlos Tevez. Looks sharp, doesn't he? Looks lean as well. He's needed to lose and shift a few pounds. He looks like he's done that. It's a decent free kick. It hasn't quite got the pace to really worry Čech.
Said publicly that he feels settled his idea of settled may be a little different from some players. Zabaleta, Kolarov. A little bit of space for Tevez. He and Agüero very much on the same wavelength. Yaya Touré trying to slip Nasri in. Luiz at the stretch.
Good interception, important one from David Luiz. A little spot from Yaya Touré, very nearly found its target.
Zabaleta never holds back. Lampard strong. Kolarov too strong for the officials' liking. Chelsea will contest 7 trophies in the coming season, with the European Super Cup and the FIFA World Club Cup to come. This is where the silver trail begins. Much gold to be earned between now and next May too. But it's been feisty and competitive to start with. It's good to see. Lampard couldn't quite dig it out from under his feet, not helped by the fact that he was being brought down by Nigel de Jong.
First touch has to be good in there. So the surface is really quick, and de Jong and Yaya Touré keen and anxious to get very close as often as they can.
Hazard. He's two-footed, quick over the first 10 metres. He has a bit of a propensity to go down, or certainly a reputation, which Yaya Touré was none too impressed by, and Kevin Prince just having a word with the new boy.
It's a great take from Hazard, and then when he turns inside, he's looking to try and skip past people. Hits the floor there without a real obvious challenge from Touré.
Couldn't lose that from Vincent Kompany. Mata trying to coax it back into the path of Hazard. Lampard putting himself around in these early stages. Tevez lets it run. Here's Agüero. David Luiz quick to meet him. Fouls him.
That's got real prospects, hasn't it? That little combination there of Agüero, Tevez and Nasri playing closer together. Often last season we saw either Nasri off one side, maybe Agüero occasionally. Tevez, when he was playing, sometimes had to go in the wide areas, not really suiting any of them. I think if they're playing tight and playing narrow and they get good service, good possession, it could be very dangerous.
Stefan Savić. So James Milner is playing as the right wing-back. Kolarov on the left-hand side has played in this kind of role for a previous club. It's quite a common system in Italy to this day. Tevez crowded out. Mikel winning the ball back. Luiz giving it back. Nasri. Kolarov. Put out by David Luiz at the expense of a corner kick. Done nothing to hide his frustration at the lack of new faces, but if you are just joining us on the match news, that Manchester City have agreed a fee with Everton for the purchase of Jack Rodwell today. Nasri takes. Ivanović got just enough of it.
Even without the likes of Balotelli, Mika Richards, still very powerful from set plays. Manchester City, we saw that to good effect last season at important times.
City have spent some money in signing up their manager to a new 5-year contract. Kolarov takes. Lampard more up than out. Good header by Savić, but Chelsea cleared the danger.
That's been a good start. The league champions for sure. Been nice and bright and positive and had more of the ball. So far Chelsea just coming to terms with this formation, just trying to work out how best. They can get possession and get their key men, Mata and Torres, involved in the game.
Luiz from Kolarov. And then from Ramires. A bit of rustiness out there. Savić introducing himself to Hazard, but good advantage play. Mata on towards Torres. It's Milner who's back there. Welcome to England, Edin.
It's that situation there, though, with Savić. He gets drawn into Hazard. He does commit the foul. Referee quite rightly playing the advantage. Torres not able to make the most of it. But they're the decisions he has to get right, Savić and Zabaleta. Zabaleta I don't worry about so much. Very versatile, the man on the ball right now. Very experienced as well. Savić on the other side of Vincent Kompany. That's an option and an area maybe that Chelsea may look to exploit.
De Jong. Zabaleta. Now Kolarov. Touré trying to thread it forward towards Tevez. Hazard. Now Ramires. Lampard guided into Mata. Caught in possession. This is Tevez. Maybe just waited a little too long before making a decision as to whether to thread it through past Agüero. Terry came in with a challenge which the referee deemed to be fair enough.
Dangerous place to give the ball away, though, there. Mikel getting caught on it there. Not with those three guys.
Coming out here. It may well be for that foul that Savić committed. Indeed it is. A good minute and a half ago when the referee played an advantage on Hazard.
Seemed to have been an awful lot of football played since that moment. It was a poor challenge.
Wasn't altogether convincing in his first season in England, Stefan Savić.
Yeah, at times he looked a little bit flimsy, didn't he? Didn't always look physically able to cope. I'm sure he'll have learned a lot over the last 12 months.
Touré's boot was a little high.
Foot is quite high. Doesn't dip that far towards the ball there, Fernando Torres.
Probably got the longest legs on the field, Yaya Touré too. Three of the Chelsea back four are forward here. Having delivered a final warning, one hopes that Kevin Friend might act if there's still some pushing, as it is. The free kick from Matteo is overhit. Roberto Matteo says no radical changes in style for Chelsea in mind. He has, remember, only had 21 games in charge of the team. Chelsea waited 25 days between winning the Champions League and appointing Roberto Di Matteo. Torres is getting a bit isolated. Frustrated. We mentioned the Manchester City goalkeeper, who is Costel Pantilimon, Romanian, standing in for Joe Hart, who's got a bit of a back injury. City weren't able to say whether or not Hart will be fit enough to join up with England next week. It's a decision to be taken after the game.
Certainly when you're playing against effectively a 3-5-2 or 3-4-1-2, whichever way you want to look at it, Chelsea have to get more out of Ivanović and Ashley Cole. They will have a little bit of room to maybe try and get their team a little bit higher up the pitch.
Roy Hodgson in attendance will be the first to know of Joe Hart's decision. Who knows, maybe opportunity will knock for Jack Butland and Byrne next week. Friendly match against Italy, we'll be able to see live here on ITV1. Tevez seeking out Milner. He's asked a bit too much of him against Ashley Cole. Friendly handshake between the two England teammates. Milner can't quite keep that in. Right in saying Jack Butland would be England's youngest ever goalkeeper if he played against the Italians next Wednesday. De Jong. For Agüero, finding only Ivanović. Lampard able to thread it beyond Tevez. De Jong knows only one way to play.
Good intensity about City though when they're not in possession. They're very eager to get it back very quickly.
There's an opportunity for Agüero, and it might come for Nasri. And it's crowded out by the combined forces of Ivanović and Čech, but there was a little slip there by Chelsea which opened the door.
Yep, they do look dangerous once they get in that little pocket in front of the Chelsea back four. Feel like something could happen. In the end there, I think Samir Nasri wanted that a little bit quicker. That reaction says it all.
By Lampard, back in by De Jong, away by Ivanović this time, and Chelsea can break out here. Brave header by Zabaleta, an important one too. Space for Milner, he can catch it. He's kept it in. Ashley Cole back, didn't really make the most of that in the end, Milner. There were 5 Manchester City players in support.
Of course, when he does ever so well to get there, James Milner, when he does pick his head up, he's seeing Nasri, Agüero, Tevez, not the biggest of guys, so maybe the right option is just to fire something, fizz something across the 6-yard line. Let them get after it and attack it.
Savić has joined Kompany and Touré as the main targets for Kolarov's corner. Fended off by Čech. Throw in this time.
Dangerous ball. Good pace on that delivery from Kolarov, so Čech backpedaling, anxious to get something on it, just about does.
Kolarov here is one of the Manchester City players whose future is under a bit of a question mark. There's a sense that even City need to sell before they can buy too many more players. Likes of Džeko and De Jong and Kolarov from their championship-winning squad have all been talked about as possible departures. Kolarov playing tonight, this afternoon, ahead of Clichy, who's on the bench. Space for Nasri, didn't make the most of it. His touch let him down. Ramires, who can certainly burst with the ball. run into traffic this time. Agüero. Now Tevez trying to get in behind Chelsea. Good turn of pace from David Luiz. Corner given.
Decent run once more from Carlos Tevez. Strong. Resists the challenge from Luiz. Knows it's coming. In the end does enough to earn his team the corner, but Ramires in possession there, had nowhere to go. First time he'd had an opportunity to run with it. Conceded possession. And City very quickly picking up the baton and getting straight at that Chelsea back four.
David Luiz, a Brazilian, suddenly had an Argentine in his sights there. This corner, clicked on by Kompany and straight into the midriff of Čech, but it was very, very close to Sergio Agüero.
It just flashed past him so quick, Clive. If he maybe gambles and just inches towards the goalkeeper there, he might get something on it.
Hazard, an elusive run. The back ball didn't come off for him. Touré into the path of Milner. What do you get for 32 million? It's quick over the first 10 metres though, isn't he? And escape players just can't backheel it. Torres making a break here. There isn't a blue Chelsea shirt within 35-40 metres of him. That's about all he could do.
Going back to that back heel from Hazard, Ashley Cole for the first time managed to actually overlap him, make a very good run. He's got to take a bit more care. We know he's talented, we know he's very skillful, and he'll want to try and show that and express himself. That's what he's been bought for, at the right time, in the right areas.
21 years of age, French Player of the Year the last 2 seasons at Lille. Talking of City being second, third or fourth favourites for the title in the last week. He did his best to convince himself and everyone else that Manchester United will win it in the closing weeks of last year, but couldn't convince his own players.
They're the team to beat, make no mistake.
Mistake by Zabaleta. Torres into the path of Ramires. There's nobody there. Ashley Cole might arrive belatedly. Maybe doing Ramires a disservice. Maybe he saw Cole, but I don't think he did. Sergio Agüero's goal from Mario Balotelli's pass from a prostrate position. Never ever be forgotten by the fans of Manchester City, or Manchester United for that matter. It was his 30th goal of the season too. Well by Mikel. Huge mistake by Kompany. He's looking long towards Fernando Torres, but the kind of service he's likely to make much of.
It's got to be better into him than that. It starts coming from 40, 50 yards and it's up around his head. It's very, very difficult to do anything with it.
Young Belgian Lukaku played quite a few of Chelsea's pre-season games in a main striker role, but he's now been loaned out to West Bromwich Albion. There isn't an awful lot in the way of alternatives to Torres in the Chelsea squad. Daniel Sturridge did play in that position for Great Britain at the Olympics.
Yeah, he's played more off the wider areas for Chelsea.
Keep hearing talk of Edinson Cavani, but that really would need a big splash. Napoli striker. De Jong with another big tackle. Good use of the ball from Touré. Milner trying to pick a cross. Agüero! Well, he got to the front of the queue for the cross. He just couldn't execute.
Great run from Sergio Agüero as well. Just hid behind David Luiz as James Milner's shaping up the cross. Then he darts across the front of him right there just to get enough on that contact. Not quite enough to worry the goalkeeper. Good delivery. It's an excellent run, but just a little bit more on it.
Lampard to Hazard. He's finding his feet a bit.
Of course, because he's a big money signing, there's a temptation every time he gets the ball to try and do something out of the ordinary. Doesn't need to.
There's a long list of foreign imports to the Premier League who've taken a year to settle down. It may take Hazard some time. Ramires into Lampard! Well, that's Frank Lampard territory. That's where his predatory instincts usually take over. That's why he's always in double figures.
Yeah, he does that better than anybody in the game, really, Frank Lampard, arriving at the right time. The ball into him's an awkward one. It's just a little bit behind him. The right idea. First time Chelsea have been able to get that City back five, running back towards their own goal.
To see where David Silva fits into the Manchester City plan. He's just getting an extended rest because of his involvement so late in the European Championship finals. He is here and on the bench, but I think he and Nasri in this setup may be competing for one place.
Definitely. You may well be right there.
Balotelli to right into the equation too. Gareth Barry is on the way back from a hernia operation.
There's been talk about De Jong, hasn't there? There's been some questions over whether or not he's got a long-term future at City.
Agüero. There was some pace by Nasri. Maybe a bit too much in the end.
Under pressure from Ashley Cole.
Maybe coincidence, it probably is, but in 4 of the last 5 seasons, the winner of the Shield has gone on to win the Premier League title 9 months later. The exception to the rule was last year when Manchester United came from 2-0 down to beat Manchester City with a late winner in the Shield, and then lost the title to a very late winner the following May. David Luiz has won his free kick.
Just stepped across him, didn't he, Agüero? Not sure how much contact there was. Kevin Friend thought there was enough to give a free kick Chelsea's way.
Hazard. Ivanović. It was awkward for Milner, and he did just get a touch on it. It's corner.
And he was aware Juan Mata was behind him, so he had to do something with it.
Pick Cole up though. Mata back to Mikel. John Obi Mikel has gone 218 Chelsea games without scoring.
It was a waste from Mikel. This was that opportunity where Agüero just tried to pinch that off at David. He does actually make contact with the Chelsea defender. He does impede him ever so slightly. I do like that tenacity he has in his game already. We're seeing that, and from Carlos Tevez as well. Not allowing Luiz, John Terry and any of those Chelsea back four players a moment to rest.
Agüero didn't take a year to settle down, that's for sure. Tevez. Now Milner. Kolarov. Here's Nasri, charged down by David Luiz. Ramires riding his luck a little, but escaping Kolarov. Now Torres with options right and left. Hazard. Well, that was a skimmer. Picked up a little bit of pace off the wet top surface.
Good hit. It suits him as well that Ashley Cole is always looking to go round him. It gives him the option for naturally drifting inside, and you see him there pick his head up. He's looking to see where Pantilimon is. Hits it well enough.
Hazard's a bright talent, but what he shares in common with the other two big Chelsea signings is he's small. They're quite fragile-looking players. If you add Mata to that mix, it has been said that Roman Abramovich is such an admirer of Barcelona. He'd like to build a team in that image in Chelsea colours, but certainly Oscar, Marin and Hazard had to run through too many walls. And here's Nasri. Pull back to Tevez. Hit against Terry. Now hit by Milner. Terry in the way again. Lampard was just held.
It's good play from City. See, John Terry is dragged right out there. Nobody appears to be running with Samir Nasri. This is the foul just moments after the chance for City. Lampard's heels just clipped.
Kompany got a bit of Torres too. Half an hour into the new season, no goals. But both teams are going about it in the right way. Hazard to Mata. Ivanović to Ramires. Corner. Header away by Kolarov. Chase with Ramires, run by Agüero, and then cuts Nasri down. And cynical enough, I suspect, to attract the first card of the afternoon for a Chelsea player, Ramires.
Good strength initially from Agüero. Defended the corner well, headed it out. Eventually Nasri gets it. Ramires is late. Probably felt the threat of Agüero running past him. Tevez as well, looking to get on the end of something from Nasri. Decided to commit to the foul and quite rightly gets the card. See how far that Savić and Zabaleta are splitting away from Vincent Kompany. They can do that in the knowledge that they've got Nigel de Jong and Yaya Touré there, from a little bit of insurance and protection in front of Kompany. And of course that then sends Kolarov and James Milner right up the park, pinning Ashley Cole and Ivanović back. It's just the pass that Kompany selects, just has to be the right one. He's looking to thread that into people.
I suppose Micah Richards would quite enjoy playing that sort of half and half role in a back three.
Can do that, Clive. Very powerful going forward. Gaël Clichy likewise down the left side. It's tailor-made for him.
Yeah, I was thinking Richards is more of one of the three, really, on the end of the three.
Yeah,
that
can
might
do that.
suit him.
Yep.
Possibly Daniel Agger if he becomes a Manchester City player.
Played in this formation at Aston Villa for a good few years. The only concern sometimes is the opposing fullbacks, if they're very ambitious. At the moment, Ashley Cole and Ivanović haven't really been able to get forward. The team haven't had enough of the ball.
I thought you were going to say the only concern was Gareth Southgate. Ivanović on. Kompany taking no chances. Kevin catching up with a few old friends. Julian Lescott, tournament beard. And Mario Balotelli, as I say, is suffering from a bit of conjunctivitis, if I could say it. Balotelli, the only footballer I've seen pictured with Paris Hilton during the summer. Ashley Cole with a shot. There's been some party in Ibiza, tell you. Didn't get an invite, strangely. But he earned his break. That semi-final performance against Germany was something else.
He was good. He was really good. I'd love to think that he can produce a bit more of that in the City shirt this year.
He is in the Italian squad that will face England next week, so he should brighten up your Wednesday night next week. Lampard. Cole. It's Mata. Hazard. Bit of space here for Ramires. It's lobbed in towards the run from Mata, but it's they're on the same wavelength, Mata and Hazard, similar sorts of players. Nasri's one there. Might be a similar kind of combination than Nasri and Silva started to find at times last season.
I think Ramires is running is far more blatant, Clive. I think he's very good when he has an opportunity to travel 40, 50 odd yards. Straight lines, he's very powerful, difficult to stop, getting on the end of crosses from Hazard's side. I think Hazard will be a bit more clever, a little bit more subtle with his creative play, picking up little dangerous areas just there where he is now. Ball's gone over his head.
Into Torres. There by Zabaleta. Mikel caught in possession. Tevez has asked an awful lot of Agüero.
It's 3 times John Obi Mikel has got caught in possession. Asking for trouble if you do that against Manchester City. The ball actually from Carlos Tevez to Agüero was a poor one. It was far too heavy, but Mikel has to tidy up a little bit, sharpen up.
Played as well as I've ever seen him play, I think, in the Champions League final. I'm told that he's been a little bit slow to find his best during the pre-season games.
Well, that's what happens pre-season nowadays. He's played in all 4 corners of the earth. But this game signifies that everyone has to get back to business.
Kolarov's cross deflected, and Petr Čech was a little bit of handball before sticking his boot behind it. We're all handball experts now. Agüero. Touré. Nasri back to Zabaleta. Certain amount of conditioning going on, players finding their touch, finding their legs. Agüero's had as good chance as anybody. Lampard's tiptoed forward here. Looking for him. It's elegant defending from Vincent Kompany.
It's certainly helps Fernando Torres when somebody's prepared, as Frank Lampard was there, to run beyond him. The ball into the centre forward then has to be a lot better than the one that Ivanović just supplied.
Cool. Away Kompany is as far as Ramires, who's found some space now. Slipped in, Torres! There could be no better sight for Chelsea than to see Fernando Torres getting among the goals at the start of the season. The first of the Community Shield. He is scored by the Chelsea number 9.
Well, they haven't found it easy, Chelsea, have they, in terms of getting forward into good areas. But they do here. They've got good numbers in the box, good presence in the box, with Hazard and Ramires eventually supplying Fernando Torres, who's just got to get in up on that and just toe in that past Pantilimon. He does it beautifully.
It's a sharp finish by Torres, who may just be liberated by the fact that Didier Drogba is gone now. He's in Shanghai. Chelsea can't turn back to him. And the man who finished Euro 2012 with the golden boot to his name, remember, starts the new domestic season with a well-taken Chelsea goal.
Good finish, wasn't it? A while ago that Fernando Torres might have panicked over something like that in the blue shirt, but good to see him instinctively just toe in that. Bang, straight at the back of the net.
Chelsea on the break again with Hazard. Looking for Torres once more, and real pace, and Savić came across him. Savić, who already has a yellow card to his name, and the free kick has gone against Fernando Torres. Yeah. Mystified.
Savić looked like he was struggling there to me. Torres looked like he was looking to really open his legs and get beyond the City striker. I'm not really sure if he actually catches him full across the face. Put an arm up to block him, you expect that. Just about got the benefit there, I think.
Nasri trying to slip it into Cole. Ivanović came diving in on the ball, and a red card! Kevin Friend went straight to his top pocket and has sent off Branislav Ivanović. It was a diving challenge. It was a challenge certainly at first sight that seemed to win the ball. You can say it's dangerous, reckless. Certainly the way the referee saw it, I thought his feet were low.
We'll see it here. Certainly he's committed to it. The feet are up and they are high and they do catch Kolarov. I don't think that's a red card tackle. Sorry, I really don't.
Well, the right foot was on the ground, the left foot wasn't, and the left foot, the studs clattered into...
I think you see a ton of those, Clive, every week. You see a ton of those sort of tackles, you really do.
I can start to see why the referee may have considered it now. I couldn't at first, I must admit. Still think it's harsh. Remember, the referee has to ask himself whether the foul was reckless, that's a yellow card, or whether excessive force was used, that's a red card. The wording says a challenge that far exceeded the necessary use of force and was in danger of injuring the opponent. If you feel that's what you've just seen, then Kevin Friend has done the right thing. That's the letter of the law, but it looks harsh.
Well, I'm sure the boys will pick the bones out of that at half-time, but for now, Chelsea have to reorganise. Mikel has got the yellow as well for no doubt having his say to the referee.
Not absolutely certain, but I'm pretty certain that it will involve a suspension at the start of the Premier League season for Branislav Ivanović, and Jose Bossington has left Chelsea. Not exactly replete with right backs at the moment. They've got young Sam Hutchinson. Here's the resulting free kick. Milner. Check out everything behind it.
Lucky. Similar shape on that one from Milner as the Tevez one at the start of the half. And again, same outcome. Goalkeeper stepping across nice and smart. And gathers it. Ramires has dropped into the right-back spot just till half-time, just till they can get in, and Matteo can then do his work and reorganise and maybe reshuffle, have a think.
Tevez squirming away from Ramires. Easy enough for Lampard. Torres touch a bit heavy. It's Yaya Touré. And now James Milner. Charged down by Ashley Cole.
Excellent block. Great tackle from Ashley Cole. Stood up, kept his eye on the ball. Does the job.
We can all argue about debatable decisions, but you can see why the referee might have given it. What he saw, I think we did see a little bit of that in the replay. Just changes the argument a little bit. And sometimes you see decisions which are as mystifying after the replay as they were before. And see how that could have hurt Kolarov badly. It's a big tackle from Lampard, and that's been penalised. And that's a yellow card.
This is what will happen now, of course. Once the red card gets brandished, then any sort of misdemeanour is going to find a yellow.
Just to underline, whether the ball is won or not is not always the key to a decision. It's the force of the challenge, the potential danger of the challenge, which the referees are now asked to estimate. As I say, I can see what Kevin Friend saw.
And he only gets the one shot at it, doesn't he? Let's be honest. He does only ever get that one opportunity to make the call. It's a shame, because the game actually has been a very competitive one and played in a good spirit, in the right manner.
But I think that's our instincts. We look at the tackle and say he won the ball, but that isn't necessarily the whole story. Certainly not anymore. Milner with the corner. And Czech just helps that over his own crossbar, but he was being fouled. So some relief for Chelsea. We're a goal up and a man down. Where was the ref here?
Well, he gets a good shot at it. He's at full stretch, Ivanović, Clive. The legs aren't bent where they're really thundering in on the opponent. He's at full tilt to try and get it. The left leg, it's the left leg that's high and catches Kolarov. The right one is on the floor, almost making contact with the ball. It's a difficult call. He's made it. I personally think you get a lot of those sort of challenges every week. I really do.
For me, the challenge is looking worse and worse.
Well, the problem is, as a player, once you commit to that, once you go chasing after that into that situation, I suppose the only thing I would say there is that we are in an era now where players know that if they commit to a challenge like that, they have to get it right.
Mikel. Mata back to Luiz. Towards Torres. Down to Hazard. Now Lampard. Smuggled into the path of Mata. The last action of the first half, which was interesting enough until the last 5 minutes when it all happened. Fernando Torres scored a goal. Branislav Ivanović was sent off. Plenty for Lee Dixon and Gareth Southgate to discuss at half-time. The scoreline was Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. Both teams are permitted to make 6 substitutions in the Community Shield. And we are about to see the first of them in the shape of Gaël Clichy, but no changes for Chelsea, which presumably means that Ramires will continue as a makeshift right back. Roberto Mancini just playing with his options. Aleksandar Kolarov is back out there, who would have been the obvious player to replace. So Clichy's going to play on the end of the back three in place of Savić.
Yep.
So it would be Zabaleta, Kompany, and now Clichy in that back three. Most of you will remember this occasion as the Charity Shield. It still raises good money for good causes, more than £5 million over the last 10 years, but it's distributed among the clubs to choose the community-based initiatives that they want to support. So it's all in a good cause. Mikel Hazard, who robbed de Jong initially. Here he's just lifted forward towards Juan Mata. Sorted out by Kompany after a fashion. Bit of a chance. Kolarov trying to lift it. Check, almost lifted it out of the stadium.
He does have a great left foot, Kolarov. That one he gets horribly wrong.
I was wondering whether Czech should be allowed to head the ball when he's wearing that.
Yeah.
The thing to say if he came forward for a corner.
Interesting, actually. I wonder whether Kolarov might have gone alongside Kompany. Mancini resisting the temptation to do that. He's playing Clichy there.
Chelsea have done backs to the wall pretty well in the last 6 months. There's Torres, who's run away from Clichy, and Fernando Torres just beaten to the punch by the sliding Aleksandar Kolarov.
Great run, Fernando Torres. As soon as he picks it up on the halfway line, he does have an option in Ashley Cole. He has a little look now. He's all about just getting his head down, trying to get beyond the last man. Good work from Kolarov in recovery tackle.
Chelsea fans have stuck with him all along. He admitted to feeling lost for a spell under Villas-Boas. Lampard. A lot of players between he and his target.
Yeah, unlucky. Always very tempting to hit them first time. Afterwards, you always think, should I've had a touch, settled it down. I think on that occasion, Frank Lampard just leaning back and getting over that one a little bit. Ramires in at right back obviously now for Ivanović. Fantastic energy we know he has. He's just got to make sure that he and Luiz are nice and tight. There's not too many gaps between those two players that Tevez or Agüero can start darting into.
They're off to Tevez. Jipped away from Luiz. Ramirez caught up with him. By Mikel Torres, slipped away from de Jong. He's all on his own here. Fernando Torres looked to go round Kompany, who stood his ground and has been penalised. Yellow card.
Again, good positive play, wasn't it, from Fernando Torres? Skips past de Jong and then he's knocking it into the space behind Kompany, blatantly body checked.
Reflecting on the red card, a whole posse of Chelsea fans came up to our commentary position to have another look at the replay. Incensed they were prior to seeing the television replays at half-time. Most of them went away nodding their heads saying, yeah, I can see why. So full marks to Kevin Friend. He acted on what he saw, and certainly Gareth and Lee felt he was justified, and I've sort of come round to that way of thinking myself.
I still wouldn't have given it personally. Wouldn't have given the red, but can fully understand, as you say, Clive. It's not easy. The referees have to act upon it very, very quickly. And certainly there was contact from Ivanović.
Biggest game of his refereeing career so far. And certainly the biggest decision, I would think. Just over 36,000 inside Villa Park. Two of those empty seats that we saw at the start of the Olympics, which soon filled up. I think it'll be the same story as this football season continues. Milner. It's caught by Cole.
Dangerous area as well. Kolarov's coming across to take the free kick. He will thump it, he will put genuine pace on it. Looking to just knock that right on that 6-yard line. Just give Czech the opportunity to come and get it and have people running across the front.
Kolarov takes. It almost went in of its own accord. Czech eyed it rather nervously, confident that it was curling away from his post.
Good shape on it. It's coming back as well at the last moment. It's just a little bit, always a little bit too high. But for City now, Clive, they have to move it quicker, sharper, perhaps a little bit more one-touch, in order to get players in the key areas with a little bit more room. Chelsea will try and stay narrow, stay compact.
Good ball from Lampard. Hazard. Torres. Miscue. Might come for Hazard. Looking Tevez. Lampard firmly away. Not intended at all. Agüero. He was aware that Kolarov was tiptoeing forward, but he couldn't find him. Well won by Clichy. Looked it, didn't it?
Two sloppy passes there. Ashley Cole initially, then Agüero had an opportunity. Gave possession away.
Away from David Luiz. 10 men giving the ball away. Not a good idea. Touré, that's a lovely pass. Nasri. Now Milner with a chance to pick across. James Milner. Carry it full stretch. It's Yaya Touré. Another big goal for Manchester City from big Yaya Touré. In the second half played, and Touré has equalised.
Stunning finish from Yaya Touré. And they needed something special at the back end of last season. He was often the man to pick it up and to make something out of nothing. It's a brilliant goal, and he actually initiated it all with a really clever through ball. I thought James Milner had maybe taken a touch too many. That clearance from John Terry, was it good enough, was it strong enough? No, because it drops right on the edge of the box. Touré takes one touch and he hits it hard and low and true across the ground, and Czech, despite seeing it and almost getting there, it's too quick. Just too quick for the goalkeeper. It's a really good finish.
Well, those two goals that Touré scored at St James's Park against Newcastle in May were two of the most important of City's title season. And in terms of keeping the treasure trail going, that may prove to be an important goal too. It's a bit of a half-hearted pass. Now that's a better effort. One or two didn't attend pre-season rehearsal, I think. Well, as I say, he's faced a few impossible missions in his brief career as a Chelsea manager, and found a way to get huge games won. Chelsea have got to do this with 10 men. Cross from Kolarov. Out by Terry. Just at the stretch when he cleared, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't manage to divert it where he wanted to. He diverted it straight to Yaya Touré.
He even knocks it a little bit wider. And just gives him a chance to get back up on his feet and maybe try and recover. Drops to Touré, takes a really good first touch and bang, it's in the back of the net.
Cole. Brought down by Milner. Milner got himself into a bad position there and reacted. A little lucky not to get a yellow. Cole again. Kolarov. De Jong. Agüero. Nasri. Zabaleta. Waited 44 years to sing about being champions. Nasri with a cross, Milner's there, terrific defending by Ashley Cole.
Yeah. Good play again from City, good patient, intricate work down that left side. Nasri with the cross. Ashley Cole once more doing enough to deny James Milner, who was pretty quick to dart across the front of him.
Just trying to take their time now. Make the extra man count.
Play against 10, Clive. You keep the ball, you keep it moving. All one touch, as I said earlier, you can play the better. They're trying to drag David Luiz and John Terry. They're the two players they want to move. Just pull them apart a little bit.
Agüero's pass to Nasri was a little heavy. Lampard emerges with the ball. Mata who's down. This is Torres. It's a game run and he's won himself a free kick. The war's a bit here, Chelsea.
Again, does well Fernando Torres, doesn't he? Realising his team need a breather at the back. Always prepared to carry the ball across the ground. This was just a few seconds earlier. That one's a little bit more blatant. Body check from Agüero on Mata. Referee quite rightly waving play on, playing the advantage.
Manchester City fans scenting the kill here. They're behind to a very well taken goal by Fernando Torres 5 minutes before the break. Between that goal and the interval, Branislav Ivanović was sent off straight red. Now Yaya Touré here has equalised for Manchester City. Nasri. Tevez. Oh, what a goal that is! He's got a message for us, but the big message is that Carlos Tevez is back to stay. Wonderful individual goal. Ripped it past Petr Čech. Manchester City lead for the first time this afternoon. And suddenly it's all smiles, Carlos Tevez.
Quite rightly, last season everybody was questioning Carlos Tevez's attitude, the frame of mind, etc. He got given the benefit of the doubt at the back end of the season to come back and play an important part. He looks lean, he looks hungry today. And that is a brilliant finish. Because on the move, when you're running almost at right angles to where you end up hitting it, that is not an easy one to put in the back of the net at such pace and at such speed. Petr Čech doesn't even move.
Just just as they did on May the 13th. Manchester City have come from behind. Carlos Tevez with a goal that Chelsea will do well to find an answer to now. Eden Hazard. Kolarov finds Touré. Agüero. Now Milner, 2 goals in 6 minutes. And here's Tevez, the scorer of the second, bundled over by David Luiz, who's still having a go at it. Tevez has got it back and found a cross, and John Terry had to deal with it.
Has to be careful there, David Luiz. He doesn't actually need to commit to that challenge. He has got Carlos Tevez facing away from the goal. Bang. Certainly bundles the Argentine over, but he's back up on his feet, desperately trying to fashion something.
Kolarov takes. Czech punches. Milner. Touré. Manchester City got Chelsea exactly where they want them now.
Because now all of a sudden, instead of Chelsea being able to sit and maybe counter with Torres' pace, they have to come out and pressurise a little bit. Play a little bit higher up the park, which leaves them slightly more vulnerable, of course.
Here's Lampard. Now, Eden Hazard is caught by Zabaleta. Cole's taking it very quickly in towards Torres. Headed away by Clichy. This is Juan Mata. Torres trying to slip it through to Lampard. Clichy away. Agüero to Tevez. Cole. Chelsea temperatures rising. It's a yellow on the way for Ashley Cole here. Chelsea's 4th. It's becoming more and more fraught afternoon for them.
Yep, just have to be careful now. And Ashley Cole is just nibbling away at Tevez and then lashes out. No need for that.
De Jong. Touré slipped through towards Milner, who was going to the offside.
Lucky. Good spot again from Yaya Touré.
Just a footnote to Tevez's goal. Those of you wondering what it was on his T-shirt, and I was amongst you, by the way. Fuerte Apache is an area of Buenos Aires in which Tevez grew up. Hit by Ramires. I remember his goal in the Nou Camp when Chelsea were down to 10 men and needed something special. Chelsea have won 10 of the last 14 games between these two. Last season's encounters were both of the close kind, both settled by late winners. Tevez. Kolarov. Nasri! 3 times in less than 15 minutes. And Manchester City are well on the way to adding to their trophy collection, beginning the new season as they ended the last one, bathed in smiles.
Well, he'd be delighted with the way that his team have responded second half. It's another really good goal. Kolarov is on the overlap from Tevez, has a little look, he just checks his run, does Samir Nasri, and in the end just lashes out his left foot and just steers that past Petr Čech again. The pace on the cross means he just has to put something on it, anything, and it's going to be flying like a rocket straight into the back of the net.
City came from behind to beat Chelsea with a late winner from Nasri at the Etihad in March. That beautiful little dink past Czech on that occasion. This time a well-controlled volley, making it 3-1. And here goes Milner. And they're in the mood for more. Actually, Cole's got to watch himself. Milner in towards Tevez. It's Ramires who intervenes, and it is a corner.
Excellent run. And James Milner, you're quite right, Clive. Ashley Cole twice. They had a little nibble at James Milner. He's got to be very careful. Ramires doing well. Dangerous ball. City look full of running. Chelsea, of course, down to 10 and are starting to look weary. And those gaps are starting to appear. I think he's just actually saying there to John Terry, yeah, he's just saying, just calm Ashley Cole down a little bit, just be careful.
He's trying to do Ashley Cole a favour here.
Yeah.
You see the Olympic spirit prevailing. Milner towards Kompany. Came off Ramires. Terry away, hit by Nasri. Sliced. By Nasri. He scored half a dozen goals last season. Nice to see, we expect a few more from him.
That one's a little bit more difficult because I think it's Torres and Juan Mata who are just descending upon him. So he has to hit that one first time. It's Kompany and John Terry, look, grabbing each other, hanging on to each other, trying to deny their opposite number any sort of opportunity or half a yard to get in the end of something.
Quarter of this match to play. Could be a bit of an endurance test this now for Chelsea. They played 61 games last season, 6 more than City. 4 of those went to extra time, and their marathon's going to be extended this season with the European Super Cup against Atletico Madrid in a couple of weeks' time. You'll see that on ITV1. And the FIFA Club World Cup in December in Japan. Plus all the other usual commitments. Long season when you win the Champions League.
City have had a good shape, haven't they? De Jong and Yaya Touré haven't gone far. They've always been pretty much in front of Vincent Kompany.
Kolarov. Zabaleta. Here's Tevez. Seen by Cole. Clean that from Zabaleta.
Yeah. Excellent tackle. Hazard's got to learn to head up, knock it off, and then maybe make a new angle and get it back. He's trying to run with it. He's going to get closed down very quickly.
Milner in towards Nasri. Of course comes David Luiz. Straight to De Jong. Torres won it and then lost it. Touré quite free. Milner.
Because David Luiz steps in there, Ashley Cole has to just nudge a little bit closer to John Terry, which gave James Milner and Carlos Tevez plenty of room. Had that ball from Yaya Touré been a little bit more accurate.
Torres a bit crotchety now. Mata. Not quite bringing under his spell. Chelsea have decided that Eden Hazard's had enough experience of his first big taste of domestic football in England. Actually been joined by his brother at the club. His younger brother signed for Chelsea too. It'll take some time just to bed in, and for the moment he'll be replaced by Ryan Bertrand, who'll be part of the England squad for the first time against Italy next week. Figured in 3 of the 4 Great Britain Olympic Games, so he should be up to speed fitness-wise. Daniel Sturridge, another Olympian, is on the Chelsea bench.
It's a good move now from Di Matteo, fresh legs, and just to try and liven it up a little bit.
Bertrand playing in that role on the left of midfield that he filled in the Champions League final for 70-odd minutes.
In front of Ashley Cole, yeah.
Lampard. Well, the 2012 FA Community Shield, sponsored by McDonald's, turned either side of half-time. Fernando Torres gave Chelsea a lead with 5 minutes to go to the break, but then they lost Branislav Ivanović to a red card just before half-time. 3 goals in 12 minutes early in the second half from Yaya Touré, Carlos Tevez and Samir Nasri, giving Chelsea an awful lot to do. Torres still alive. Mikel, though, careless.
Acres for James Milner. If they can find him, City is on every time. Ryan Bertrand will be better, but perhaps seeing that run from Milner and trying to give Ashley Cole a little bit more protection there.
Very much a fringe player for Manchester City in the last 3 months of last season, James Milner, a fixture in the England team. Didn't get any club side. This 3-4-1-2 system might just be the best suited of all the City players to play as the right wing back. Sturridge to replace Juan Mata, who himself is an Olympian, and part of the Spanish team that didn't manage so much as a goal in their 3 games at the Olympics. On comes Daniel Sturridge, who did score 2 goals for Great Britain. Sturridge is going to play from a wide midfield position. He's made it clear that he would love a chance to go up front.
He's very effective from that wider spot. He's got plenty of goals for Chelsea from that sort of area.
Here is Sturridge. Strapped up Juan Mata's thigh with a bit of a concern. There's Tevez and towards Kolarov.
Great skill from Tevez. Nutmegs on David Luiz. Very nearly get Samir Nasri in once more.
Both kick off their Premier League campaigns next Sunday. Chelsea Wigan at lunchtime, City at home to newly promoted Southampton at 4. Agüero just unable to escape. One back by Zabaleta, he wasn't pulling out. Change for Manchester City. David Silva for Samir Nasri, strength. He won't be on international duty next week. He's not in Didier Deschamps' first French squad to face Uruguay because he's been handed a 3-match ban for abusing reporters at the Euros. I think there's some footballers who think that's a small price to pay for the chance to abuse reporters. And David Silva, who went all the way in the Euros, started all 6 games of Spain's successful campaign, will now come on in his place.
Yeah, effective, wasn't he, Samir Nasri? I like the possibilities that gives City with he and Tevez and Agüero, and of course now David Silva also coming on into this position. He'll love that against some tired Chelsea legs in there.
Late on Milner. They're about to discuss that challenge on England duty next week. Both in Roy Hodgson's squad for the friendly international against Italy in Bern on Wednesday. We're on air 7:30 on ITV1 with live coverage of Italy versus England in Bern, the only warm-up international that Roy Hodgson can have before the qualifiers for the World Cup in Rio begin, or in Brazil. Milner. Tuck back for Kompany to try his luck. Just about kept in by Sturridge. If you're thinking that's a silly time to play an international match, nearly all the major countries are in action next Wednesday. It is the only opportunity for the national team managers to assess their strength prior to the first qualifiers. Mikel. Ramires. Found a cross, found Kompany with Sturridge, Torres, and Daniel Sturridge. It's well struck, and Pantilimon lost it. Chelsea scored through Ryan Bertrand. Pantilimon's error. I don't want to get the ball back now. Ryan Bertrand has claimed his first goal for Chelsea to put them back. And with some kind of a shout, a big Costel Pantilimon, who has impressed many in pre-season, has shown a yellow card for his troubles along with Bertrand. But it is now Chelsea 2, Manchester City 3.
He's hardly had his hands on the ball all the game, has he, Pantilimon? Picked the ball out of the net twice. It's a good hit from Sturridge. Goalkeeper should be doing better, has to do better than that. And because he's such a big man, it's an awkward one to get up and try and recover from. Credit Ryan Bertrand, who's on it quick as a flash. He sees it quicker than any City defender. And gets his team back in the game.
It's not his first senior goal. He did score once on loan to Reading maybe 3 years ago now. He's had to wait his turn to emerge at Chelsea. Had quite a prominent role to play in their season, Ryan Bertrand. Had a prominent role to play in the balance of this match with that goal. Gifted to them by this man, Pantilimon. Hard against Ramires.
They were in complete control, weren't they, City? Totally bossing the game and the tempo of the game. And all of a sudden, a mistake, a lapse, a momentary loss of concentration from the goalkeeper.
Both got yellow cards, Bertrand and Pantilimon. So he played quite a bit in pre-season for Manchester City. Hadn't conceded a goal in any of their pre-season matches. The big Romanian has conceded 2 now this afternoon, and the second one was down to him. Joe Hart, incidentally, is nursing a slight back injury. Not quite sure whether he'll be fit enough to join up with England next week. Feeling that following that mistake he definitely won't. Manchester City will want him on club duty next weekend. It's a free kick. Last season's Community Shield finished 3-2. Manchester City were beaten. Here's Milner. Couldn't quite catch up with a straight pass from Zabaleta.
Lucky. Had a good game, James Milner. Been really strong down the right side.
Back home in many ways. He spent 3 years of his career in a couple of spells here at Aston Villa. Lampard, Sturridge, goal. Well, you can't argue with Chelsea's spirit, can you? Crossed in towards Fernando Torres. Kolarov just helping it on its way. Chelsea corner.
Yeah. Decent ball in from Ashley Cole. It's the right sort of trajectory to give Fernando Torres a chance to go and attack it. Kolarov having to take evasive action, just steer it away for a corner.
Lampard takes. Mikel. Bertrand. John Terry. Lampard with the header on. Here's Sturridge. He's found a way out to Bertrand. He's lost his footing.
It's good work from Petr Čech as well there, Clive. Making sure that he's not just standing there in his goal and watching everything that's going on. He's nice and alive and alert, steps out, used his head a couple of times, hasn't he, this half, to just make sure he's mopping things up properly.
David Luiz. Actually, Cole trying to get forward. Milner went back with him, but here's Lampard finding Cole. Put out by Kompany. Bertrand. Strong header by Kolarov into a rather hazardous area, but it fell for Milner. Tevez. brought down by Mikel. The McDonald's man of the match, selected by Sir Geoff Hurst, is Yaya Touré of Manchester City. I missed him when he went away to the African Cup of Nations earlier this year. They won't be too pleased to know there's another African Cup of Nations next January. In South Africa. Milner's cross was originally scheduled to be in Libya.
Well, his goal was a massive one today. Got his team back in it. His range of passing has been good. The presence he has, of course, in the middle of the park alongside de Jong. Protection in front of Kompany has been excellent. It's a decent choice.
6,394. Thank you for your fantastic support.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Manchester City have been 1-0 down, 3-1 up in this game. Not home yet. Ball's header. Well met by David Luiz. Chelsea having to take a chance or two back there. Terry's given it to David Silva. And now Carlos Tevez. Lampard came across and was caught by Tevez. That one. Mata, the shot from Kolarov, all the save from Czech. Free kick already given.
A couple of clearances from John Terry, a couple of scruffy ones. Of course, the first one was the one that Yaya Touré pounced on. That one there again. Just trying to find Ryan Bertrand high up the line.
Francis Lee scored the winner the last time Manchester City won this Shield in 1972. Oddly enough, it was here at Villa Park against Aston Villa. The FA Cup winners Leeds gave the Shield a miss that year. It was an optional bonus back then. It was the move to Wembley in 1974 that really gave it some status back. Torres. Can Ramires catch that? That's the answer.
Unlucky. Right idea. Really good run from Ramires. Good ball into Torres from Sturridge. Good little combination. Unfortunately, the final ball just a little bit too heavy. Just come off his boot a little bit too quick.
City going to make a late change. It's Carlos Tevez who is going to make way. Mario Balotelli not quite fit to figure today, but Edin Džeko has been a bit of a moody blue over the summer, talk of him moving on. He's going to come on in his place. He scored in last year's Shield.
Tevez was good today, Clive. Looked sharp, lively, didn't he?
Here's Agüero. Milner. Plenty of Manchester City players in there. Came off David Silva more by luck than judgment, and Czech made a save.
I think Agüero gets a little nick on the ball right in front of Yaya Touré and takes it off his head.
City just trying to run the clock down now.
It's been a decent contest, been a good game. I've liked City's shape. The three at the back, it's looked very strong at times.
Yaya Touré has escaped David Luiz. Good pass from David Silva. Here's Milner. Cut back. Missed by Agüero.
Hey, and that would have been a spectacular
item.
Oh, what a goal that would have been. Fabulous run from Yaya Touré, and the weight of that little pass to James Milner to set up Agüero. He won't miss one like that, I can assure you, the rest of the season. That's a tap-in for him. But the 30, 40-yard drive initially from Yaya Touré and that clever little reverse pass was wonderful.
Torres betting himself. David Silva unable to free Agüero. There's Mikel. Clichy in the way. Silva. Touré. Lots of space here for Edin Džeko. Ramires catching up. Terry catching up.
Excellent work from Ramires, first and foremost, to slow Džeko down, and John Terry to scamper across the 18-yard box and eventually make the tackle.
Massive Chelsea heart still beating, isn't it? Won them so much last season. Never given this up. Mikel. Led away by Clichy. Invitation. Lampard. Sturridge. David Luiz is forward. Ashley Cole is forward. Corner kick. James Milner.
Yeah, Aleksandar Kolarov giveaway there. So unnecessary. Shakes his head, and quite right. He's only got to clip that down the line, because this is about it.
Petr Čech is forward. Complete with springy cap. Bertrand takes. Pantilimon takes. And checks out of his goal. David Silva has the ball. Ramires taking a foul. He does have a yellow card to his name. The referee's giving himself some thinking time here. And he's just a word of warning, really, for Ramires, who was a victim of the circumstance. I'm not sure that should necessarily spare him.
No. By the letter of the law here, he should be getting a yellow card for this. This Czech was desperately trying to get back. Everybody knew it. Ramires was never going to let Silva get past him.
Benevolent decision by Kevin Friend. Aptly named in that particular instance. Milner's kept it in, fed by Džeko. Waited and waited and waited, and John Terry got back. It's a corner to Manchester City.
He was just waiting for Agüero to maybe just make a darting little run, just offer him something. In the end, it's John Terry that denies him.
Almost there. Manchester City throw. David Silva. Wriggle free.
Brilliant.
Young not interested in going forward. Džeko. Zabaleta to Silva. Picked up some nous and know-how last season, Manchester City. It's Manchester City's Community Shield. And all the trophy added to the collection of Roberto Mancini. An FA Cup win, a league title, and now a Community Shield. If it's all they win this season, it will be considered a failing but it may not be. The thoughts and the presentation still to come, but the final score here at Villa Park is Chelsea 2, Manchester City 3. Don't go away.
A strong early showing from Manchester City 2, good for Chelsea today 3-2, and that was the pick of them. It's where you're from and where you're at, Carlos. Let's hear from the City skipper Vincent Kompany.
Vincent, your challenge is to stay at the top, so what have you proved today?
I don't know what we proved today. I just think it was a great day for the club again. And you know, it doesn't matter whatever the trophy is, we'll celebrate and we're so happy.
Is this a season when Carlos Tevez will make the right sort of headlines?
You know, I couldn't care less as long as the club wins trophies and as long as we keep doing what we're doing and what we've built on. I'll be very happy.
I think Chelsea will point to the red card as being the key moment. Was it a red card as far as you were concerned? Difficult to say.
I'm not even going to get involved. To be honest, I was a little bit far from the action, so I didn't see. All I can say is even before the red card, I thought we had more possession. And you know, probably the 2 goals they scored were on the 2 chances they had. But you know, I think it's going to be a tough league, because you could see Chelsea today had a lot of qualities as well. And it's just going to be a very interesting season again.
Well, you're the favourites, you're the team to catch. The bookies say that.
I wouldn't say so. It doesn't matter, you know. You know what? If we can improve on last season again, then I'll be very happy.
Well done today.
Thank you very much.
He was bound to duck the red card question. He had a moment of his own, didn't he? In an FA Cup tie with Manchester United, as I recall, last season. Wasn't going to get involved in that. Said all the right things. City mostly did the right things today, didn't they?
Yeah, I think what we did learn from that was that City was sharper than Chelsea. I think that was the thing that stood out for both me and Gareth. When we're looking at the teams playing, to get the formations, just looking for the season starting next week, City just looked a little bit like they had a snap in their play. And that over the 90 minutes, as well as obviously the red card, that paid. And I think out of the 2 teams, City will be more than happy the way they've played. Chelsea have still got some work to do. But brilliant spirit from Chelsea to come back like we know they can.
And actually, for all the pre-season and pre-match talk about hunger and ambition and doing it again all being difficult for City, there's no lack of that on show here today.
No, they looked determined. They looked as if they wanted another trophy in the cabinet. They've thrown a new system in, which was interesting to watch, and the players seem to have taken that on board, and it gives them a slightly different dimension. It allows them to play with 2 strikers, out-and-out strikers, and the rotation between Nasri and Agüero and Tevez was very good and caused Chelsea a lot of problems. So I agree with Lee. I think that even before the sending off, I thought City were the better side, and I think City would walk away feeling very pleased with their afternoon's work.
I know Chelsea will go up for their losers' medals in a moment, have obviously players still to arrive and to come back and so on, but City have so many options, Lee, particularly perhaps with this new system.
Well, yeah, obviously they can go back to playing a back 4. It does open up a whole new way of playing, and whether they stick to it, it'd be interesting with a game to go that they're playing that way. It would suggest that they're going to go into the season that way, which is it's a big step, because I know I've played it, I've swapped systems, not always comfortable with it as a fullback at times. I wasn't, and so I was saying to Gareth before, it's the times where things are going wrong, that's when you sort of go, I want to go back to my normal position. When things are going well and the game's flowing, the system's great. It's when they've got the backs against the wall. City will have the ball most of the season because they're a good side. So it's the odd games where they're under the cosh, that's when it will be tested.
But the players they have available, particularly in those fullback positions, might quite like this system.
I think they will, and I think they've got so many options through the middle of the park as well. When you look at City, I know Roberto Mancini's been complaining about lack of additions, but it's very hard to improve their squad when you look around without spending the sort of money it's going to take to bring a Van Persie. I mean, even if Van Persie came in, does he get in ahead of... Would his combination with Agüero be as good as Tevez's has been? So you've got to manage the squad, and you don't want anybody that's out of the side being disgruntled as they had last season.
They've made a big signing, by the way, in Tevez.
True.
A fit Tevez.
He's back, and of course the manager's got a new contract. They're about to go and get their winners' medals and trophies, so let's rejoin Clive.
As the playthings of wealthy benefactors, Chelsea and Manchester City are 2 of the clubs keeping a close eye on the UEFA financial fair play rules, where they're actually now in operation. They have been for a year, monitoring the club's commitment to them to break even, begin for a couple more years. But just limit their spending in the weeks ahead. But the news that they have now agreed a fee with Everton for Jack Rodwell suggests that they are accepting their manager's belief that more needs to be done. Third trophy of the Mancini era on the way. Won't be enough. Bigger fish to fry, bigger prizes to chase, a bigger squad to build, according to Mancini. But this new Manchester City is built for success. The winning habit eluded them for so many years, but now under his guidance and under the captaincy of an outstanding leader in Vincent Kompany, Manchester City are starting to fill their trophy cabinet, gathering round the latest prize to come their way, awaiting the arrival of a man who was bought before the Arab money came in, Mike Summerby, from a great Manchester City era of the past, confirms that another is building. Manchester City are medalists again. Vincent Kompany hoists aloft the FA Community Shield, and the standard is set for the new season by the team that ultimately had the final word in the last domestic season. You don't see Roberto Mancini smile all that often, but just a trace of a grin on his face. They came from behind today to beat a very spirited Chelsea side and lift another trophy.
They look happy and hungry, and that's a good combination. They'll have their eyes on plenty of big prizes this season, one already in their hands. We'll have a look at how this season might unfold with City's ambitions with Lee and Gareth in just a couple of minutes.